Hi, welcome to another episode of Fate Extra, and today we have a lovely special guest. Do you want to introduce yourself?
I do. I'm Olivia Joseph, the lovely special guest. I'm on the Fate Extra Let's Play. There's my girl.
She's pretty great.
She's so good.
I'm a big fan of her so far.
This episode might just be me talking about... Ooh, spoilers. Never mind. I don't know who that is.
I'll bleep that out or something.
Bleep it out with the Christmas one where she's going like Padoru.
Yes. That's good. I probably won't try and read anything off this episode. This is probably going to be more relaxed or whatever, and also I wouldn't read anything from Shinji anyway, but
because he's a little creep.
He's a little creep.
What? Wow, ballsy move to have an NPC in your video game say the game's pretty good. It has good aesthetics. Yeah, so I have played Extra.
Okay.
All the last time I played it all the way through was like early high school. So
Okay.
I don't have the clearest recollection of everything that happens in Extra, but I do like it a lot.
Okay. That's really good.
I think it is a pretty interesting like take on Fate. Obviously a lot of good characters. I like the sort of remix element that they have, where they are like, you saw Rin just call Shinji like Asia's premier hacker. So
yeah, they're all gamers.
The characters, they're a little different. Shinji was probably a gamer in both original and Extra.
Yeah, that's true. Because Carnival Phantasm had a bit where he was like playing with his computer or whatever.
Yeah, he did just sort of
reveal who his
throw out
servant
the whole
was.
thing. He's not the brightest.
You know what?
Do they measure intelligence in Fate as a stat? I forget what the stats are.
I pull him up in a bit because I think we learn his servant stats, but I don't know if intelligence is one. It's like strength, charisma, like magic resistance, that type of thing.
Agility.
I
think endurance.
Yeah, I don't think intelligence is one actually. Okay, wait. I don't think intelligence is one, but I think Saber has like a special thing that's like she has a splitting headache all the time, so she can't like.
She has a migraine.
Yeah.
She has a migraine curse.
Relatable.
God, yeah, huge mood. But that's the thing. Like, one of the things that I like about this Saber so much is that like when she's talking about that migraine, for example, she goes like, your deficiencies mean that I can't use my full power. And then in the next line, she goes like, but there's no shame in being a novice, And
yeah.
then she's like both very like self-aggrandizing, but she doesn't like, she's not self-aggrandizing in the way that she puts other people down too. Like she's very much like, she's like, I'm the best ever, and like, come on, you want to be the best? Get over here.
Yeah, no, she's like very supportive of you and like your journey. It's a very nice vibe. I like it. She's very sweet.
After you finish this, you should definitely go watch the anime.
That's Encore, right?
Yeah, Fate Extra something Encore, but
Okay.
I hate agreeing with that harpy. Whoa, Saber. Don't go after other women. You have to team up against Shinji. Who almost let slip a second keyword.
Yeah.
Because he's just that much of a tactical genius.
I like that so far most of the options with Dialogue and Saber are just, yes it was. We don't, there's no other like choice. Saber's just correct.
She's just correct. We love that for her.
We love a girl who is correct.
Oh yeah, here's where we're gonna see these stats.
Strength, defense, agility, magic, and luck.
I love that luck is quantifiable in Fate.
Yeah,
you can
like
get ranked in your luck.
Yeah, like Saber from Fate Stay Night has like max luck and just like fucking like, oh yeah, she's really good at like gambling games because she could just win them.
Yeah, her protagonist stat is super high. I think Cucullin canonically has E rank luck.
Oh, well, yeah, that makes sense.
Another thing about Extra that's really good is the soundtrack slaps.
I really like the like jazzy vibe of the school music.
I don't know how well it comes through in the Let's Play because the sound is muted or like lower down, but
Yeah, I usually have the sound.
it's just so
pretty low.
good. The multimedia room. What I do remember is that the multimedia room is not accessible for like a huge part of the game.
Okay, so it's just
So-
letting you know that this is a door that you should keep checking, and eventually you might be able to go in there.
Yeah, like one day you will be able to go to
One
the
day.
multimedia room and watch like the school's archived episodes of The Wire or whatever. When I played this game, and I played it a little bit recently. I went and I talked to everyone every single day and checked every single room. So there was a lot of just like, this is the multimedia room. This is the multimedia room.
Still the multimedia room. Yeah. I think I try and talk to a bunch of NPCs, but I also just kind of go like, no, I'm not gonna put the time in. I check the multimedia room maybe like once an episode, and then I keep on moving. Okay, so we know she's a Spanish pirate, I think, is what we got. I am unfortunately unversed in Spanish pirates. I should have played Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag to learn more.
Yeah. I think I remember the identities of every servant in this game.
Oh.
This guy over here just in the wrong side of the world.
A legendary soul who wields dual pistols. Billy the Kid and Calamity Jane. Well, Yeah. Thanks for help. Thanks for the attempts.
I mean, Cucullin wears like a bodysuit, so I don't know if they
Yeah,
I don't
I'm
know
not
if
really
they had
sure,
those
like-
in medieval Ireland.
Yeah, I'm not sure like what dictates appearance, because like Saber from Fate Stay Night wears like a full suit of like like old armor, but then like you just got a weird bodysuit. You just got a cloak for assassin, and like
I feel like I don't know how true this actually is, but I feel like it is to some degree dependent on like the summoner, because and maybe this is not maybe this is a little detached from material reality, but like Lancer in Fate Stay Night and Lancer in Fate Prototype, which is like uses the like original designs that they were going to use back when Fate was an Otome game, have different designs.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where he's got like a cool like suit of armor, right? With like furs
he's got armored shoulders and a fur collar, and a master who is a woman who canonically wanted to summon a servant, a heroic spirit who was killed by a woman, so they would know what was up when she summoned them.
That's really good. Okay.
And you know how
Okay,
Lancer is? He's like, well, she's pretty intense, but I do respect women now, so...
That's actually what getting killed by a woman like does.
I mean, that is what it did to him canonically.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
he mentions this to Rin definitely in the Unlimited Blade Works anime.
Yeah.
I think there's a bit where he's like, you remind me of the girl who killed me. And she's like, that's a weird thing to say. Please be normal.
He's like, no, it's chill. I respect
it's
you
fine.
for it.
I mean that in a respectful way.
Yeah.
Do you have any do you think you're gonna see Shiro in this game?
The thing is, I don't think so, because at the beginning it seems like Shinji still hasn't. Okay. Sakura mentioned like going to someone's house to fix a broken arm, but Sakura ended up being like an NPC. And like that was the thing that happened to Shiro. I don't think Shiro's in the game like at all. I think we're like the protagonist character, and Shiro's not going to show up. I don't know. I don't know though. Like, that is what I'm working off of.
Everybody does have like their like, you know, they're here and they're here. You know, there's a lot of recurring characters, but some are NPCs and some are like real people.
I don't know if Shira's gonna show up as an NPC or something.
I think it would be funny if you saw him, but he wasn't named. Like, it's just like a Shiro 3D model, and he's just named, like, Dependable Student. Like, and he's like, hey, how's it going?
He's like, man, this Holy Grail War thing sucks.
Phew. Also, I think interesting, like, Shinji and Sakura being in this game, but Sakura being an NPC who still shares Shinji's name. So, like, she's an NPC who is his sister? I don't know what that's about.
It's weird.
Saber time.
I love how she just requisitioned your entire private room just for you to, like, listen to her talk.
You might get to one of my favorite Saber conversations here. But she doesn't feel like talking right now.
Right.
This room is in the anime, and they have spruced it up with that 2019 Fate anime money. So
hell yes.
You get to see all the different accessories that she put in there. This is like a thing. In all the extra games, like all the servants have like made the room their own in various ways.
Okay.
In the sequel, you can have Gilgamesh, and I think he does just, like, make a mound of chairs to serve as a throne, and just puts himself very high.
Like a bunch of, like, school desks and chairs?
Yeah, just stacks them, and then, like Saber in this game, like, puts a cloth over them, so they form, like, a single shape.
Yeah, that's Gilgamesh.
Love this girl who's like, damn, you're lucky you got Shinji. He's a chump.
She's like the polar opposite of the guy from like a video ago who was like, I can totally take on Ren Tosuka, the named character.
Oh, that guy. He's only going to get a bigger ego about it too. I remember that guy. Like, the more you talk to him, he's like, yeah, I'm so ready. I'm so ready.
Okay, yeah. So I think the like byline, like greed and lust combined to burst into brilliance, is a pretty cool line to enter a dungeon.
Arxis round start.
Yeah, exactly. That's the vibe it gives.
I believe the lines are related to the servants that you're fighting, because when you fought Shinji and his servant, she did compliment his like greed and being a little freak.
She's like, love freaky little guys.
She's like, yeah, you fucking weirdo, sure. You want me to kill your friend? That's pretty cool, actually. So yeah, we talked about this in the DMs, but like I think this battle system is actually very interesting, where like the enemies have a set. They have set patterns. So in this dungeon, every enemy has like they have 3 patterns.
Okay.
And so it is about like you learning them. As you kill more of them, you get to see more of the patterns, and then you start to be able to predict how they're going to, what pattern they're using based on what you can see, which is never more than I think 3 attacks, but they tend to be designed in such a way that you get to eliminate stuff, like if you've seen the patterns, you go, okay, I know there's no pattern. There's only one pattern where, they're breaking on the second attack. Yeah. I think I think the battle system is like a good way to approximate like Fate is a lot about like information and planning and stuff like that, as much as it is about anime power levels. And I think
this game and like Fate Stay Night both go into like the fact that like, hey, if you don't learn who like the enemy master is or like how their servant works, you will die.
And I think this is a good way to approximate that. Like, your servant can have super huge powers, but if you're not ordering them to do the right attacks, they are going to get chumped by this like floating die set. Yeah,
I think I recorded this video before you like told me about the patterns, so I wasn't like pay too much attention. I think near the end of the video, I like start to like figure it out. Like I figured out like the block enemy patterns pretty consistently, and a few others.
I'm pretty sure they only either break or well, they guard too. I think mostly they either break or attack. Like
there's
very
one enemy
simple.
that like only guards and attacks, and I just figured that one out pretty quickly. So Olivia, how did you first get into Fate?
Let's see. It was definitely in high school. So I had So I was in high school.
Okay.
I was a young high school boy. I got on 4chan.
Remember. Oh.
And I was like, what I'm gonna do is get into anime. And this is the only place on the internet that I know about where people talk about anime. So
I can't even imagine.
I literally had and the day. This was like an incredible series of coincidences, because like the day that I first went on like the 4chan anime board, there was a thread where somebody posted like in a thread, and people on 4chan never do this. They hate people coming on their website. So it was really strange that one day that I came on, someone was like, literally just posted an image. It's like, all right, you want to know how to torrent anime? Here you go. You want a list of all these like really famous anime that have been artistically influential? Here you go. Good luck. So I downloaded that and started pirating anime that day.
Hell yeah.
I think the first anime that I pirated was Madoka Magica. And from there, there was like, I think on the Fate, I think it had the like first Fate anime, like the Studio Dean Fate anime on the list of like influential anime. And I believe it said something like, this anime sucks, but Fate is like super influential for what all of anime is. So maybe you want to watch it if it sucks, or you could play the video game. And I was like, ooh, video game. And so I torrented like Fate Stay Night and got it working on my laptop, and like changed the language, downloaded like the unofficial English patch, and it was like the most like hacker man I've ever felt in my life.
Yeah, when I downloaded it, it was just like in one big thing. I didn't even have to like mess with an English patch or anything. How the times have changed.
In my day, we had to torrent visual novels uphill both ways. Yeah, the what you just fought, the shield enemy, that is an enemy where like I don't think it breaks at all. You can just guard every single move and you'll be good.
This was when I was wondering like, okay, how do I up the like stats, because they haven't been going up when I've been leveling up.
Yeah, will.
Yeah, I find out later in the video, I think.
Yeah, they roll things out really slowly in this game, but they will funnel you towards it so you cannot miss it.
Yeah.
Do you see it in this video, the level up part?
Yeah, I think so.
Alright, I'm glad. Because it's a cool level up thing.
There's also one specific, very interesting bit of gender that I'm glad you're going to be here for.
Yes! I'm so glad. I was wondering about this. Yeah, I think a thing that, like... I think a thing that did stick with me about that game is, like, it was sort of a gender thing for me. Because, not necessarily with Saber, actually, but Archer was, like, my first anime boy crush. Which I think tells you a lot about me as a human being. Then I saw Archer from Fate Stay Night and I was like, wow, hunk.
Wait, so were you Gar for Archer?
I wasn't Gar for Archer. I had enough self-awareness to look at the Gar thing and be like, you can just be gay. It's okay. Because like that was the thing. I was on 4chan as a teen, but I also felt myself to be a lot better than a lot of the other people on 4chan because I didn't feel like I was as self-conscious, and I was self-conscious in other ways. Mm-hmm. I wasn't self-conscious on the internet. I was self-conscious in real life. But So yeah, no, not Gar for Archer. I was just flat out like, I would like to give him a kiss.
Okay.
I'd like to go on a date with him where he like makes fun of me for everything.
Pretty good. I think I
Archer's-
wander around this dungeon a bit more because I don't understand like what I'm supposed to be doing. But I think I was just supposed to pass the evening.
I think you progress to, no, you can't progress to the next floor. Yeah, they're just sort of like, rolling things out very slowly. So like,
Yeah, like
I
this
think
first
this
week
is-
goes by.
I think this is
Not
the
fast.
first day. Is this the first day where you can explore the whole first floor?
I think that was the last time, but I think this time they just wanted you to like go through it and then end the day
Yeah.
because they don't like put anything else new in here.
I think today the main thing was like exploring or like showing you the information matrix thing.
Yeah.
I believe that, I think more starts happening in the plot and the days as this game goes on.
Okay, that's good.
Archer's in this game too. There is do you think you're gonna play all 3 routes?
That's the thing because the game is like 30 something hours long. I think.
Because I can just tell you that like the servant choice doesn't like change plot events. It's a lot more like,
It just gives you like insight into that character.
yeah, it's more like who do you want to experience the plot with. There is a
Okay.
more, I think there's a more concrete like route choice later in the game, but
Yeah.
your servant is just like, who do you want to hang out with, and then also indirectly the difficulty level, because I think they do have like more complicated or like not necessarily
Yeah.
straightforward kits later. Like I remember Archer being like a very like skills focused character. Like he had a lot of burst potential, but you had to like spend MP to do it.
Okay.
Whereas I think Saber is just sort of like, in Grand Blue we'd call her a gorilla. Like she smacks her sword into things really hard and does a lot of damage. Don't worry about it.
And we love her for it.
And we love her for it. Yeah, Archer's in this game. Do you mind if I tell you about my favorite Archer conversation in the Archer route?
Not at all because it will probably be months if I get to it.
It is the same Archer as Fate Stay Night. So I guess Shiro is in this game, in a way.
Yeah.
So you can talk to him like a little bit about like, he can tell you war stories basically. Like here's what here's what I did when I was out there in the world being an ally of justice is I think the term that they use in this game. So he tells you this one story about, so first of all, he shows you a photo of himself. Like, so you get to see like, Fate Stay Night design Shiro wearing a like black leather coat with a sniper rifle. And that's a transcendent experience. But so he shows you that, and then he tells you at one point about like a time in which he infiltrated a nuclear power plant that had been taken over by terrorists in
Okay.
order to save government officials that were like trapped in the plant. And then he talks about how on the way out of the plant, somebody like triggered the self-destruct. So he used magic to like survive the nuclear blast at like ground zero.
God damn.
And he's like, yeah, that was pretty tough. He's like, that was a pretty impressive feat of magic. It sure cost me a lot to do that. And one of your options is like, is that why you have such a huge tan? And and if you ask that, he just sort of stares, and you get like the ellipses text box, and he goes like, you're the most foolish woman I've ever met. Because I was playing the girl, of course.
Yeah,
But he's like,
of
you are
course.
the most foolish woman I've ever met. I can't stand you.
God, I fucking love Archer.
I definitely remember in the Archer route, like, him becoming, like, very, very kind of, like, big brotherly, and being like, oh my god, you are a small teenager, you do not understand anything about what's going on, do you? And you can either be like, no, I got this, don't worry about me, or you can be like, yep, no idea, I'm completely clueless, please help me.
Archer holds your hand and leads you down through the dungeons.
I believe he is a lot more. He's a lot more like. Oh yeah. This also. At the end of the day, they're like, here, look at Saber taking a nap.
She's just snoozing.
The information like gathering part always like stresses me out a little bit because I always feel like I'm missing something.
Yeah, the thing is, I'm like, okay, this is a tutorial. It's not gonna let me miss something, so I'm fine for today, I think.
Even when you get everything, it will not show you like there will still be like huge gaps in your understanding of what servants are usually, and I think that's also really evocative. That idea of like
you can't learn everything.
Yeah, until you kill them, and then you get to you can read the whole codex entry. But
they give you a monologue before they die, and you get their entire backstory.
I mean, yeah, yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Oh. It's like an Assassin's Creed, like you stab a guy and then he like gives you all of his motivations before he dies.
I mean, honestly, it's not that different.
Oh, okay.
Oh wait, is this?
Oh,
yeah, it's your boy.
It's my boy. I love him. The girl protagonist doesn't like him very much.
No, the girl protagonist is like, his vibes are awful. But that guy you played in the beginning was just like, wow, Leo, my boyfriend.
I've known Leo for 10 minutes, and I would and will die for him. Yeah, a wolf let loose in the chicken coop.
Yeah. I believe this is the same for if you pick the boy, too. Like, the actual protagonist is savvy enough to be like, okay, this guy's a little threatening. As a servant.
I love this. That, like, one, that you see the guy in armor and you're like, yeah, I think that's probably a servant. And two, that he's just chilling and walking with him and being like, yo, what's up? This is Gawain.
Yeah, because Leo, of course, Mr. BDE over here is just like, oh yes, this is my servant Gawain. Would you like the Encyclopedia of Arthurian Myth to look him up? I don't care.
I'm not a coward.
Neither is Gawain. They're very much like, one thing I really like about Fate is like the ability to have like the master and servant pairs play off on each other, and yes. Leo and Gawain are just perfect for each other. They're the exact same kind of asshole.
Wow, King Arthur sounds cute.
Yeah, it's obvious he's a saber class servant. I think they're all sabers. I'm pretty sure by this point in like Fate Go, you can get the entire round table, and I'm pretty sure they're all sabers.
Well, it makes sense. They were like famous knights.
Mm-hmm. Maybe I can't get Percival. I don't know all the knights of the round table off the top of my head, but I know Arthur's in there. Obviously, you can get Gawain. You can get Lancelot.
Lancelot might be Berserker though.
There's also a saber version of him.
Ah, okay.
It says they added a saber version of him, which is like his non-berserker form.
Nice.
Recommended build. Summon him as a saber. So there's him. I think you can get Bedivere. Like I think Bedivere is in there. He might be. Doesn't he have a design in Fate Stay Night?
I think so. Yeah, no, because
he's the one with the long
at the
hair.
ending of like Saber's route or something, he shows up.
Yeah. Weird one to pick, honestly. Yeah. If you're just making Fate Stay Night, like, oh, we got to get that hot anime boy Bedivere in here. Oh yeah, also the plutocrats of Europe. Leo is a member of the Romefeller Foundation, of course.
Fuck.
I mean, this is the thing. I think one of the things I have liked about Fate as an adult now is that it is extremely about hegemony. Like,
yeah, extremely.
There's a holy grail war on the moon, and the plutocrats of Europe have like sent their like, blessed child Scion in there to fucking kill all of these other kids and get the holy grail in order to secure like European power. That's just what Leo's here for.
And Rin's like, damn, that sucks, but I'm better.
Rin is like, I will kill this kid. Something good. I hate him so much.
He's such a fucking dweeb.
I kind of love how everybody is like keeping tabs on you because you're gonna fight Shinji.
Yeah.
My theory is that everyone hates him, and they're just like,
They're rooting for you.
yeah,
They're like,
they're
hey, he dropped this, like, he just, like, told me his servant's name. Do you want to know? Yeah, even Rin, like, right here is like, hey, do you want to know, like, what Shinji's up to and, like, how to figure out how to fight him?
I love Rin. Rin is also really good. Listen, I'm not immune to Tsundere.
You know what? I don't think anyone is. Rin's just a very good character is the thing.
I mean, yeah.
I like how in this game, since she's a hacker, her clothes have, like, lines on them.
Yeah, she's got tech wear. I don't know if she has the tech wear bodysuit in this game or if that's only in the anime, but she does have like a tech wear bodysuit for her extreme hacking.
Hell yes. Sick as hell.
Oh yeah, you also get Matrix info on your own servant, which I think is a cool touch.
Yeah, as, like, you grow closer to her and stuff.
Gender.
See, we could ask about, like, the Holy Grail War, or maybe, like, what her thoughts on Shinji are. Or we could ask about gender. Harsh.
We love her. Look at her.
She's just sitting.
She's just telling the truth. Speak if something concerns you.
There's, like, mad gender on my mind. All right.
Alright. Yeah, she's been working herself up for this. Are you a girl saver? Fucking galaxy brain question. Why are you so imperious?
Wow, I wonder if she is Imperial something. Oh, don't ignore this. That's
Yeah.
my really good PSP.
Yeah, that's your super PSP.
It's PSP too.
You can ask all these questions. I do like the save state.
She has such a masculine bearing and tone of voice, so I thought perhaps she had been raised a boy.
Yeah, this is the thing that I think gets lost in translation. I assume she has a really like masculine speaking style, which is I know a thing that is more like it's a more prominent thing to do in Japan, or like you can speak like a man much easier.
Yeah.
I like she's
Yeah.
like I don't mind that I'm short, but you will never speak of it. Since I do
value my life. Yeah. I'm always saying this.
I'm always saying this.
I believe my core is a maiden, as I adore beauty. Oh.
These are very
really love
interesting
this.
reactions from our player character.
Yeah.
I also love how Saber has this prepared. She's like,
Yeah.
all right, so I've divided my gender into 3 different areas.
I have 3 separate genders that are all coexisting.
Number 1, I'm bisexual. Number 2, I'm bisexual. Number 3, I'm bisexual.
Beautiful young boys are good. Beautiful young girls are better. My singular preference is beauty. I really love her voice for this. She's so excited about that.
Have you heard her verbal tick, or did you already know about her verbal tick coming into this?
She said it a few times in cutscenes. She was like, "Umu."
Yes. In other words, I'm not going to shut up now that I can brag. Uh, yeah, no, that is sort of a primary thing about this saber is that she really values like beauty and elegance. And she will tie everything into beauty and elegance, even hitting things with a sword.
Of course.
Called her, referred to her as, ooh, very good PSP.
Yeah.
just playing the game real fast.
I decided we need to kick it up a notch.
All right, buddy. So one thing that that I have always thought was like interesting about Fate is that nobody who's written Fate has ever heard of a trans person. Like, I
No.
believe this.
Yeah.
But I think in not knowing, Fate is not the representation, and I think that makes it a lot better than if it was trying to be representation. Like, there's a lot of like, character, there's a lot of characters who are historically or mythologically men that they turn into women, and I think vice versa, a few of them.
Yes.
But and they always have some like weird, very anime explanation about it.
Yeah.
Which just happens to end up being a lot closer to something an actual trans person would say.
Yeah.
Like, I have some friends who would be like, listen, beautiful boys, yes. Beautiful girls, better.
Yeah. From Fate Stay Night, Saber was like, I was simply raised as a boy, but beneath the armor, I was always a beautiful girl.
Yeah, her whole thing, like, Saber ends up like being Saber's gender is like Arthur's gender is like really interesting. Like you can basically read her as literally anything. Like she's got so much going on in there. Have you ever
unlimited gender works? You can just make 1,000,000 trans reads for every character.
Have you seen Mordred yet in any Fate media?
Okay, I know who Mordred is. They're in like Fate Apocrypha?
Yeah, he's in Fate Apocrypha.
Okay, yeah, no, I think I saw like, there's a scene at the beginning of like the anime where like he's there for like a split second, but I have not like seen him in any like actual context.
Yeah, he's really fascinating. Because he is like, on my off time, I will wear short shorts and a bra. However, if you refer to me as a woman, I will stab you with my giant sword. And he has this whole thing about like the way that he like looked up to and despised Arthur, and how that informs like the kind of man that he wants to present himself as, and the way he like is both emulating and also rebuking the way that Arthur acted, and it's just very interesting.
Yeah, like it's good. I really like this aspect of Fate and just like digging into it, because there's like, even like not specifically Fate, but just another Type Moon thing, the Garden of Sinners stuff is just like,
oh yeah, Shiki's gender.
Shiki's gender.
Yeah, you've seen the movie where she talks about why she uses ore pronouns, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, she had like a headmate that died, and she like she's like into her gender incorporated like masculine mannerisms and pronouns in order to honor like, this guy who used to be in her head that isn't around anymore. And I think Shiki, all caps Shiki, this is hard to do in verbals, but I think all caps Shiki did the same thing, like,
yeah.
It's really interesting. And then Mikia, the goat, being like, look, she does her own thing. Shiki does her own thing. I don't worry about it. I love her.
Yeah. God, what a good boy.
Also, we were talking about gender while I said this, but I think Leo throws a little bit of a subtle insult Shinji's way. He says like, "Oh, your opponent Shinji, be careful. I hear his servant is quite strong."
Yeah.
He didn't say Shinji is very strong. Even the NPCs are giving you hints about how to kill Shinji.
Yeah, Shinji just did a dick move of like hiding the books that like tell you exactly where his servant is, and we're gonna find him in a couple minutes, because they're not like well hidden, like they're like just like right in the dungeon, and he's like, "How'd you find them?"
Because he's an idiot.
because he's an idiot. They mentioned that Taiga's an NPC, but also she keeps losing stuff in the dungeon.
Yeah.
Is this like the Holy Grail generating side quests for you? It's like, hey, just so you have something more to do.
Of course you're doing all of Taiga's stuff, right?
Yeah.
Taiga, also a crush when I played Fate Stay Night in high school.
Taiga's really good. I really liked whenever she would like fucking like Shinji Shiro was like, oh yeah, Taiga brought over like a new recipe book today, and like she didn't say anything, but she just like put it in front of me and then just like put a bunch of ingredients down. So she wants me to cook something, and I'm like, that owns. I love that. If someone
cat
like,
behavior.
Yeah.
Oh wait.
Yeah, here it is.
Has Kotomine told you to go and slaughter to your heart's content yet?
He did. That was like episode 3, I think.
Well, yep, there we go. Go and slaughter to your heart's content.
He said it's like he says it a couple times.
It's like his catchphrase.
It fits.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first time we go into the chapel.
Hell yeah. It's time for the girls.
They're so good.
They're so good. I'm so glad that like this game specifically for no reason is like we're gonna reuse some like Tsukihime and Garden of Sinners characters, and it's gonna be the best ones.
Yeah. There's 2 women. They don't act like sisters. It's also interesting how it mentions that like this place is cut off from the Seraph system.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is like somewhere out of the bounds of the rest of the game. So like nobody in the game knows like what the fuck they're doing here to level up your servants.
I'm pretty sure it is implied that the sisters are not NPCs. Like they are people.
Yeah.
I think, well, she says welcome to the Eden of the East, right? I think it implies that this is a separate location that exists on like whatever digital space is happening here. Amateur. She's way ruder than she is in Tsukihime.
Yeah, she's very sweet normally.
I think it is definitely the kind of relationship where they bring out the worst in each other. Which is probably
hacking into each soul
and choosing what to improve. Sure. Can you guys hack my soul, please?
I would love to have my soul hacked. Could you just raise my like magic up like a lot? Like that'd be sick.
Can you put my magical resistance up? This year's been rough. Yeah, this stat system. I think it's interesting because it is like, from what I've read about it, every stat raises like all of your attributes of a servant, but just in different proportions.
Okay.
So like if you want to go like S rank luck, that will like raise everything that your servant can do by a little bit. She's totally useless. Like track tapes or the C prompt.
Yeah.
God, and you're lower than dirt. Don't screw up or
the moon cell.
This is why Fate is good, because the character will just say the moon cell.
And if you don't know, you're just fucked.
And they'll get around to it. You'll know what the moon cell is soon. They specifically told me to do quasi-legal alterations.
So basically, there's stuff they're allowed to do when they hack your servant to be better, or they could just like really just fuck them up inside.
You don't actually have a choice of which sister is going to alter your servant.
I stumble upon this. Like I'm like, okay, is this a real choice or what do I do? You can see I just walk away from her.
Although if it was a choice, I do have to go with Toko. Sorry, Aoko, but Toko's the boss.
This was the part where I was like, oh shit, was this an actual choice? I just wanted to talk to the one on the left first. And then she's like, I don't do this.
And she's just more skilled.
I'm better at it. I just don't do it.
I'm trying to control my rage for now. Just their writing is so ridiculous.
Veins popping out on Aiko's clenched fists.
Aren't you exaggerating a little? I mean, 10 times? I love,
The
like,
protagonist just walked in on this.
I love the way they characterize the protagonist as, like, having this totally blank face and, like, no outward expressivity, but she's so, like, judgmental on the inside. You know, like, she has a lot of opinions about the things that are happening. She just doesn't express it to anyone, you know? Like, she's sitting here thinking, like, damn, why did...
Gnashes her teeth in rage.
Yeah. She's sitting there like, damn, yeah, if Aoko, like, jumped over that table and tried to strangle her sister, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. Oh, wait, I think she just mentioned Mikia from Garden of Sinners.
Oh, she did.
I think she just said, like, all the things that Kokuto dumped on me, which is him. Ask the monkey.
Yeah.
Maybe there is something that Aoko can do for you eventually, but...
Yeah. Fuck up the soul.
There you go.
Yeah, that's what I was originally going for, because I'm like, well, Saber loves being strong.
I think there is an optimal way to, like, max your stats, and I do believe, like, putting everything into strength early on is optimal for Saber.
Okay.
I know magic is not good for her.
Okay.
Because I don't think she has spells necessarily.
Okay.
I think she is mostly like an attack-focused character. But yeah, it's a system where you put points and then you can see down there, you know. And then she floats in this red Bacta tank.
She's like, this owns. I love how this feels. But yeah, I think this was like... I think I do another level up later, but like, I decided to like just pump a bunch into strength and luck.
Mm-hmm. I think they don't do, like, even though they, you know, they kind of level up everything, I think they generally favor, like, the things you would expect. Like, luck increases, like, I think there's critical hits in this game.
Yeah, there are.
We love you, Saber.
Superb tempering, yeah.
She's just, like, floating up there, and she's like, great, I'll reward you for this.
I love floating. It's sick. Oh yeah, this scene just happens. Like, you're not involved in it. You just like see this.
Oh wait, I think I read it. Thrown out of the chapel after angering that old man.
Yeah, this guy says like, Shinji, you're not allowed to level up.
Do you think this guy will be an important character? I'm an atheist. Swear to God.
I swear to God.
Hate him.
Well,
hate him. If it
well,
weren't
I don't know.
for the
He
laws
does have
of
an
this
original
land.
model, but he doesn't have a name. So who can say?
And he's a little bit racist.
A little bit.
But then he immediately says the gates of heaven will forever be closed to the unbeliever, which is pretty metal of him to say.
I hate old geezers like that, talking about the gates of heaven being closed to me.
I mean, Shinji lives with his grandfather, so he probably does hear shit like that all day.
Oh, good point.
Zoken probably does talk about how Shinji will never get into heaven.
No, but Zoken's goal is to never get into heaven.
Oh, yeah, but he would definitely just, like, lord it over Shinji, too.
Yeah. Good point.
Zoken's like, oh, I'm going to hell, but you're going to worse hell. Even though I've done worse things than you, but...
You're going to
whatever,
hell too.
kid. This is my
They did it
Zoken
just for you.
impression.
Zoken's voice is, like, fucked up, because he's just, like, a bunch of worms in a person suit.
Uh-huh.
It's like, it's like very, like, low and steady, but in, like, a very uncomfortable way. I like his voice. It's a very good fucked up grandpa voice.
Zoken is incredibly funny because, like, you know, Fate Stay Night was one of the first things, you know, in that whole franchise.
It was
right?
one of the first things, just in general.
So they, like, you know, Zoken is this incredibly old guy, and he's done all this, like, messed up worm magic to himself in order to be that old. There are several other characters in the Fate canon that are, like, older than him who are just fine. Like,
it's really funny.
Darnik in Fate Apocrypha, I think, has been alive since World War I, and he just looks like a hot 30-year-old.
It's so funny because, like, I think I also really like how, despite like taking place in the same universe, the like fucking scale of like Fate and Tsukahime is completely different. Because everyone in Tsukahime is like an all-powerful, immortal vampire who are messing with like universally cataclysmic shit, and all of the people in Fate Stay Night are like mostly regular people who can't do very much magic without a servant.
Yeah, I believe there's a few lines in later Fate stuff about how the Fourth Holy Grail War is like internationally viewed by the magic community as like chump shit. Nobody really understands why like a bunch of teenagers and non-maguses just got servants and killed each other, but it happened. Like, I think there's a line in I feel like there may be a line in Fate Apocrypha that was like the Mages Association like did not even know it was happening until it was over, and they were like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, no, there was a thing like early in like Hollow Ataraxia, there was a part where Rin's like, "Yeah, I had to go and like explain to them like what the fuck happened," and they had no fucking idea what I was talking about when she was like, "Oh yeah, this kid who'd never done magic got a servant and won."
Yeah, because I believe Kotomine is lying about being a representative of the Mages Association.
Yeah, he was just not telling them shit.
That guy, that wacky.
I think they said someone and he just like killed them.
Yes, I do believe that happens. Oh, you want to do some Veil of Petals?
I will use a skill.
Yeah, I don't.
This is like using gun and rock paper scissors.
Yes, it is literally like that.
It's not a very good gun.
Well, he guarded.
Yeah.
It's like using gun, except if you could like use rock when they used gun and only get a glancing bullet wound.
I wish you had health points in rock paper scissors.
I mean that's this game. That's what.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good point.
I love Leave Alone. I'm not having that today.
Yeah. What's the point of leaving it alone? Nothing bad happens when you open a door.
I have no idea. Yeah, you mentioned that the dungeon design was a little underwhelming for the first floor.
Yeah,
but I quite like this.
This one's
floor.
better. This one's way better. There's just a
It's
bunch
a
of shit
little
floating
jazzier.
around.
Ooh, what's that?
I don't know, because I thought I could go there, but there's a wall. But
You
then
can go
later
there.
on,
Kim, you
I
can
know,
go there.
I know.
Just slam through
know.
that wall. F.
There's one where I go through the wall later on, and I'm like, ah, shit, ah, fuck. The thing is, this dungeon level is like significantly actually like tougher because I ran out of mana, and I'm like, okay, I have to call it a night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is. I feel like this is, and these horn guys are really tough. If you are not like writing down the patterns, I think you can easily get pretty stomped by these guys.
Yeah. I don't ever like faint or anything, but
There we go.
yeah.
Worried. I was really worried. Ow.
I'm so nervous about this.
This track that's playing right now is one of my favorite fight songs in the game.
Oh, it's really good. Is the thing.
Level up. Girls love that.
Girls love to level up and get 3 skill points.
I want more skill points. Ideally,
Very
if I can get
respectful.
more skill points, I would love that. At least it's not Etrian Odyssey. Etrian Odyssey gives you a single skill point per level, and it's the worst.
God, that sounds like it would suck. What's even the point then?
That you have 99 levels in the game, so you will get 99 skill points.
Girls don't even get out of bed for fewer than 3 skill points.
Okay, phew. I also love Saber being much shorter than the main character. Just
Don't talk about it. Don't
I
worry
will.
about
What is she gonna do about it? She's a video game character.
You know what? Fair enough.
She's also crouching,
She's so tiny.
so it makes her look tinier than she really is, but she is shorter. Been thinking about height lately. Height in girls.
Interesting. Tell me your findings.
Oh, well, the HoloLive, English generation of HoloLive
yes,
is
of course.
doing a collab, and they just they released like a promo image for it that had everybody's models side by side. Tall Ina is real. She is real. She is the second tallest HoloWin VTuber.
It rules.
But
it rocks.
she's been making herself shorter in the collabs. I assume to spare everyone's feelings.
Just leaving Ami and Gura in the fucking dust. Yeah, okay, so you just walk through a wall here, and I'm like, ah, shit, now I have to walk through every wall.
I love how you find the book and Saber's like, yeah, this is where that idiot would put things.
The Golden Hind.
The Golden Hind. Yeah, I think you could like go on Google at this point and just put in some keywords.
Damn, if only they had Google.
I mean, they kind of do. They have that library where
Yeah, which has like all knowledge that humanity has ever had or something.
it'll just put it on the shelves for you. I think you got an Umu there also.
We did. I love her Umus. I did watch the anime compilation of every time she says Umu in it.
It's so good.
It's such a good video.
Oh,
I don't know what she's talking about there. Does she mean this very cool room?
yeah.
I'm a pretty big fan of it too. Okay, I didn't understand what this did at first because I was like, "Oh, does this like display more of the of the enemies like movements or what?" And I figure out that like it's a spell you can use later on, but I don't understand the point of it because it's
Yeah, I don't quite understand it either. I always just went maximum MP and healing. Like,
yeah.
I'm not messing around. What do I need to see an enemy's information for? I have a notebook.
Yeah.
Um,
No, but I don't even think that it like shows you more of their information. It shows you their level on like the main map.
oh, that seems
Oh,
pretty...
yeah, this scared me. I was like, holy shit, they're just coming for me.
Yeah, they are. Oh, he's such an asshole, but you did take his book. You did get the book. This
You
is...
finally
this is-
slithered onto the stage. Saber hates him so much. It owns.
Yeah, she just despises him. So yeah, servants have a lot of attack patterns.
Yeah, I assume.
I believe it is possible for a servant to use like a new attack pattern every single round. They have a lot, depending on how depending on how your battles with them go. It's very hard, but at least you know two of them now.
Yeah.
I think it makes for a good experience though, of like you never like quite know what another servant is going to do in a fight.
Yeah. They are still like an all-powerful magical being. They got a chance of.
I love her
Surprisingly.
block shooting animation. She just kind of like puts it
Yeah.
in under her arm. Oh yeah,
This also fucked me up because I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Why can they use spells? That's not fair.
that's not fair. That's what I do. Yeah, you get to see Shinji's hacking.
They've released like one trailer for the Fate Extra remake, and I watched it. And there's a part where you like you can see HD Shinji hacking, and I'm like, damn, I hate to see it.
They knew what the people wanted and also didn't want to see.
They do. Okay, something neat that I did see that they added is that instead of your servant like running behind you, they actually like run in front of you to like protect you now, like in the remake, which is like a very cute touch. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I'm
And like
interested-
Saber will actually just like run ahead.
Yeah, that's cute. I'm interested in seeing what they'll do with the combat system, because I know they're not going to leave it like this.
Yeah, they changed it up. It looked kind of like what they do for Fate Grand Order, where there's like 3 different types of attacks that you can like. But it looks like you could add more moves to it than like this.
Yeah, but I hope
They only did show like a snippet of it. I don't know.
Stay mad about it.
Yeah.
Yo. More importantly,
Oh.
I've reached a number of conclusions.
Yeah. Okay. So she's Ryder. I thought she was Archer last time, maybe, but who
Yeah,
can say?
and they'll even give you like fake out information. Like I believe your first thing was thinking that she might be an archer, but
Yeah,
that frail man child,
man child.
she's so mad about him.
Good.
She's so mad about him, but
Oh,
also she
it's-
will grind 5 hours if you think that that's what you should do.
I agree.
Your heal is chunky in this game. That was 430.
Yeah, I noticed. I'm like deciding like what the fuck do I do? Because okay, I have a few good runs and a few bad runs coming up, and I have to get out before actually entirely exploring this dungeon.
You got a few days.
Yeah, I figure it's probably not gonna like throw me in too high over my head. But I'm like, ah, damn, this is normal difficulty and not easy difficulty, huh?
Even if you get all of the triggers really early on, every character will still be asking you if you got all your triggers. So
They're giving you a trigger warning. It's fine.
I hate that spin they do. It's just luxuriating
really
in
bad.
the fact that they guard broke you.
And, like Saber's voice clip like loops a little bit. It's like, You're right. This battle theme does own.
It does. They're so good. They all. Somebody said they sound like I don't know if you have this pull like culturally, but like they sound like old school like fighting game themes. Like
Yeah. Okay.
SNK could make some fighting games with these battle tracks.
Yes. Okay, I agree with this.
Ooh.
Okay, so I use it, and we did a cute swirl, but it just tells you that that enemy is level 6 and nothing else.
Yeah, I don't know if that's super useful.
It's not. I switch off the item like the next 5 minutes.
My only consternation about the Fate Extra remake is that I really don't know who I'm going to play. On the one hand, I would die for Saber in Fate Extra.
But then, of course, there's Archer, and
And then of course there's
the
my boyfriend
third one.
Archer. And the third one, who is I don't know. I know some people who swear by Extra Caster, but she's just kind of like a fox girl who is your wife,
Yeah,
but not as
that's
much
what
of a
it- that's
wife
what-
as Saber, personally.
That's what they described it as. Like, it was like, this is a fox girl, and I'm like, I don't know who this is, because I recognize Saber. I've seen so much stuff with this Saber, and the Archer was just described as a mean archer, and I'm like, oh, I know a mean archer. But then it's like a fox girl. I'm like, I don't know a fucking fox girl in Fate. What?
Yeah, she is. I think she's totally new for this game. I think this is
Yeah.
where she appears, to later become a series staple because everyone likes the fox girl who's your wife.
Fair enough. You know what?
Every time my heart skips a beat. Every time you almost submit, like the losing one, I'm like, no. But you always catch it, so.
I'm very careful. Not super careful here, as I'm not doing great with these patterns. I hope. Okay, I am actually going to write all of these patterns down in the future, so I can get them more betterer, and hopefully actually figure this shit out.
When you really like have an enemy totally like, you know, to use a fighting game term, downloaded, when you have them completely downloaded, it's just like you just burn through them. You will get tired of seeing Saber's like 4-hit combo. I know there are a lot of people who there are people who are like play this game a lot, because Type Moon fans are like that.
Yeah, of course.
And I know some people who are like just max out strength 100% so you can kill as fast as possible.
That's kind of what my strategy feels like it's going to be, because I was like, okay, we're just like ranking up strength of one bit. It's not going to do too much, but Artax used to do like 20 damage, and now they're doing like 40. So
Yeah.
it's like a pretty hefty increase.
When I played, I played up through the end of this first week. When I just leveled strength, and it got to the point where like sometimes I would kill these monsters in 2 hits.
Hell fucking yeah.
You can get very beefy. Yeah, she says here, you are to stay behind me, but you are in front.
We got a
True,
good tangerine.
That's me when I see good fruit. How did Taiga lose a tangerine in here?
She put it in a box and forgot about it, I guess. No, because in Hollow Ataraxia, like there's a scene where Taiga's like, I bought a bunch of fruit, and then she just puts it in Chiro's room and forgets about it. So there's like 5 different cases of rotting fruit that she just puts in his room and forgets about completely.
God, she is a cat. That's how a cat behaves.
She's just a large cat.
I don't know the Japanese translation of what Saber says in that victory line, but the Japanese is gay ganai, so which is just incorrect. She is gay.
Yeah, of course.
That one's level 8.
Yeah, I'm like, hold on.
I hate the way that they move. It's just weird. The vibes are bad with those twin horns.
Not a fan of this enemy.
She appreciates your thoughtfulness.
These items are like worthless. Like, it's just 50.
They're basically just things that you give Saber in order to hear her tell you thank you.
Yeah.
That is more valuable than the 50 HP.
God damn it. I always use it when they guard. Anyway, I figured out that these guys mostly guard and break, it seems like.
Yeah, I don't know if they attack.
I think that was an attack, but it's like rare or something. But yeah, I think by the end of the video, I figured like, okay, I've got these guys down. It's just nice to watch Saber stab stuff.
Yeah. Love her spin. And then the flip. You should watch you might want to watch the OP for the Fate Extra anime, because it is just Saber fighting a bunch of dudes in a coliseum.
Hell yes.
And at some point her braid comes undone, so her like whole hair is just kind of flying around everywhere.
That owns.
I did also have the moment where I thought that your model would change. Because
I wish it did.
They do say it's formal wear.
And I'm like, okay, that's not armor. That's like actual clothing. But,
I think you should be. I want to see what the durable gym clothes look like. I'm imagining they're just like padded on the inside, so it's like a super bulky tracksuit.
Yeah. You just stuffed a lot of rolled up newspapers into some gym clothes, and now Shinji can't shoot you.
No, he can't bite you like he tries to.
Okay, I try and make a run for it. I try to like sneak past them.
No, they get mad.
Yeah.
I think if Shinji had a persona, his persona, the one that he like made, would be a wolf, but his actual persona is like a chihuahua that's just been dunked in a bath. So it's like sopping wet and angry.
That's really good.
God. You remember the part of Fate Stay Night where he's like acting as Gilgamesh's fake master, so he's just running around thinking that he's in charge while Gilgamesh is like, that's great. I love this for you. I will be doing what I want, though.
It's really funny because Shinji is just like, finally, I have a way to show Shiro and Rin up, and then like Gilgamesh is like, no, no you don't. like Gilgamesh has a lot of like respect for Kotomine, just because of like he sees him as like interesting, and like Kotomine will like respect his power and stuff. But then he's just like paired with Shinji. He's like, no, I don't like this situation at all. This sucks.
He's like, he basically just uses Shinji as like a magic battery.
Yeah.
And it's purely for convenience, so that he doesn't have to like kill and eat anybody's soul.
Yeah.
Trigger if you insist on using the common vernacular.
We have both. I don't know why you're telling me this.
This is a thing the game does sometimes. They will it will sort of belabor the point at times.
Yeah. That's just JRPGs. They'll just do that sometimes.
Mm-hmm. And I guess just because you will have a game over if you don't get them, so.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm assuming you do use the command seals for something at some point. But I have no idea what you would use them for.
Yeah, I don't quite remember either. One thing I like, which you'll see more, as you get better at the battle system, is like they link the animations into each other in a really satisfying way. Like if you get a 3-hit, like you will get like a unique 3-hit combo for what move Saber is doing.
Hell yeah.
Which is just, it's very cool. It's very satisfying to like completely read a pattern in this game. F. So I believe if you both attack, you don't take damage, but if you both break, you do take damage. But I'm not 100% sure on that.
I think I'm actually not sure. I thought that when we both attacked, we took damage, and when we both braked, we just like didn't. But I don't know. I could have gotten mixed up.
You definitely were both breaking against Ryder, and you both took damage. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's random, but
who can say? But yeah, I was out of MP and low on healing items, so I'm like, okay, we'll have to come back to this one.
Also, I don't believe that there are like fake high school classes going on. I think it just cuts you to the evening because you're screwing around for most of the day.
Well, you're a high schooler. Sometimes it just takes you a while to get up.
You wake up at 3 o'clock, and then by the time you've eaten, it's basically the evening.
Yeah.
Hey, look, she's like, great job. We're doing great.
We're doing pretty solid.
Room completion percentage. I had a situation when I played recently where I just had one corner of one room that I had not put my character model on, even though I had the whole map downloaded. So that was a huge pain. It literally meant nothing, but I just wanted to get my completion to 100%.
Of course.
But
as you do. I think I end up leveling up, and then I go back to the room to talk to Saber, and then I think I end the episode.
Yeah, it's the last 5 minutes.
Okay.
The girls.
Love them.
This one. And I think I had it wrong. It is Aoko who's doing the alterations, but she's doing them because Toko said she has to do them, so she's mad about it. I think in Melty Blood, Shiki has or maybe it's, I believe it's either Shiki or Aoko that has a good win quote when they fight one of the Tsukihime characters about Toko and Aoko's relationship. I think it might be Aoko against Shiki, and I think she tells Shiki to pass on a message that Toko is not allowed to change her look without consulting her. Because I believe they used to have the same hairstyle, and then Toko got the short hair. Because she didn't want her little sister cramping her style.
You know what? Fair enough.
I think that's canon. There's like in the Paradox Garden of Sinners movie, I think you see like high school or college era Toko, and I think she also has long hair.
Yeah, she shows you like a picture or something. Or well, she shows Shiki. You're not the protagonist of Garden of Sinners. Yeah. I'm gonna check the library again, but I don't think there's anything new.
There's a Twilight joke in the library. I was just like...
Yeah, I saw that. There was like a sparkly vampire thing.
Mm-hmm. I was just like, okay, weird. The golden hind. I think a hind is a kind of deer or buck or something like that.
It is.
I think
It's
I
like a-
think I knew that because of this game. I was like, what are you talking about? What is a hind?
Oh. I just live in the country, so like there's a lot of deer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, do you have anything you want to plug?
Oh, no, I'm good. I'm chilling.
Okay. Yeah.
Follow me on
This is
Twitter, I
responding.
guess, at Great Grebe. It's a type of bird.
I'm a pretty big fan of grebes. Especially great ones. Show me more of that dominance in the future.
Damn, Saber. This game is rated T.
Okay. Yeah.
You calm down.
Do you not understand?
Yeah, so that's what I mean. We love her. Look at that. She's both self-aggrandizing and very supportive.
Yeah. Like at the very beginning of the game, like when you're like, I have no idea what's going on here. She's like, oh, that's fine. That just means you can learn and use that knowledge now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we love her. I'm glad that you're playing this so that I can see it without playing the whole thing. 'Cause there's a lot of shit going on, but it's always nice to be able to watch an LP.
It's really fun. I really like just like setting aside an hour or two and just like playing a game.
Mm-hmm. So we're in the final minute, I think.
Yeah.
Thanks. Oh, you're doing a spin.
I just run around in circles for a bit because I don't know like how we're gonna end off.
Mm-hmm. I'll end off by saying thanks for having me on. I really enjoyed being here.
It was a pleasure.
Just get one little guy being like, Shinji's the biggest idiot in the world.
Yeah. One last little own. This is where Shinji sits.
Cursed area.
Yeah.
Disturbingly organized. Not sure about the term use,
yeah.
but...
You know what? It's Shinji. And yeah, that's gonna be it. Thanks for being on. I would love to have you on again. This was really fun. I just like talking about Fate a lot.
Yeah, no, it's good. I will gladly do some more recordings.
Hell yeah.
Fate Extra, it's good. Stan Saber.